the roots, he let the beats build, bitch. And we never switch. Even if I'm rich, I'll be broke like I'm Mitch. Niggas talking down, but that's headed in the wrong direction. But I knock that shit out like the boxing section. Cause they can't touch what they can't see. All I gotta do is be the same me. All I gotta do is keep it cheap. Always be the same me. While I'm solid, boy, they can't change me. No.
We live. We live, man. We live for the boxing session, man. What's going down, man? Yeah. Hey, hell of a night. This will work. See if this work better. Great night in MMA. Mark, what's going on, big dog? How you feel? Man, great night in MMA, man. We're waiting on the bros to come through here and so we can hop to it. All right. Yeah, man. Bellator was amazing tonight, man. I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that card. Man, it was exciting. You know what I'm saying? It was exciting. I enjoyed it just as much as I would enjoy the UFC. What's going on? Hudson Slim, Rob G Film. What's going on, man? How y'all boys feeling? Yeah, man. Bellator was nice, man. I can't lie, man. I liked what I seen. Tone Brown, what's going down, big dog? Dave Jack, what's happening? Yeah, man. It was good, man. I think his name was Jason Jackson. He beat DeGracie. Hudson Slim, boy, you missed a good one, boy. Listen, you missed a good one, my boy. Listen, that was a hell of a card. It's supposed to come on tomorrow, or it might be on YouTube right now. That shit was good. I can't lie, man. That shit was good, man. Jason Jackson, he scraped his eye on the cage. His eye, you can see his eye was like hella low, and he still managed to win that fight, man. I'm like, he damn near beat the dude with one hand. But what's crazy was every time, like the Gracie dude would get like a head, like he's about to win a fight, dog, he would do something to where they had to like reset him. Like, so dude couldn't see out of one eye, but then he poked him in the other eye. And then so they stopped the fight right there and gave him time to figure out what he was gonna do. That shit was good though, man. I can't even lie, dude. That shit was good, man. I'm excited. Damn, MMA for Dummies, man. I'm excited. The main event, boy. Whew, man, Pitbull put it on him. I mean, from the gate, dude. And when he choked him out, when he put him in that guillotine, and they fell with him. Shit, man. That shit was crazy. The women fight, that was a good fight, bruh. Like, that card was cool, bruh. I can't even lie. I think Khabib, he was in the corner. I don't know if that was his cousin or something, but he could get out. He fight his ass. He beat the shit out that dude, man. I mean, dude kept coming forward, but shit, man, that shit was good. Hey, DJ, man, you know what time it is, man. I can't do an MMA show by myself, man. You crazy? Let's do it, man. Let's get down, man. Go ahead, DJ. I'm waiting on you. That's gonna be hey, I'm looking forward to that fight. I'm not gonna lie, man. KNS, what's going on, big dog? How you feeling tonight, man? Dude, that was a hell of a card, man. DJ, man, join the panel, fool. I can't do an MMA show by myself. Now, if it was boxing, I can carry shit, you know. Dog, but yeah, that shit was good though. I can't even lie, man. I like the commentary. I like Morrow. I like him though. I like his for sure. I got you. Matrix R, what's going on, big dog? Salute to you, family. Dude, I can't even lie, dude. I enjoyed that. I want to see him and Brad get down, and I wonder when that fight is gonna happen. Tom Brown, when is that fight gonna happen? AJ McKinney, like he about that life, man. But that pit bull, boy, he was the truth, man. I mean, he choked that dude out, bruh. Like he choked him all the way out, and the dude was asleep before the ref even got to him. You know what I'm saying? He was already asleep. I don't even know how he was able to wake up, boy. I mean, MMA is just too dangerous, bro. When nigga just choke you the fuck out, dog. You know what I'm saying? It's too dangerous, bro. You know what I'm saying? Boy got choked out. You know what I'm saying? He was choked out in sleep before he even hit the mat, bro. The way he put him in that guillotine, I was like, oh, it's over with. I knew it was over. Okay. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, man. We're gonna have a hell of a show for that one. Yeah, man. No, you gotta watch that fight card again, dude. Hey, Jason Jackson, bro. Like, I'm fucking with him. The ass kicker, I'm fucking with him. Hey, listen. I think if he didn't scrape his eye, I think he would have put hands on Gracie even more. I like Gracie's style though. I you know what I'm saying? I like his style, but Lance Meyer, what's going on, big dog? How you feel, man? We in here. We in the house. We talking that talk, you know what I'm saying? I think if he didn't scrape his eye on that gate, I think the fight would have been over earlier. He said he couldn't even see. He said he couldn't see until the third round. So I gave him the first and the third round. To be honest with you, I think the fight was hella close though. The fight was hella close. But I liked it, man. I enjoyed that, man. And then tomorrow night, we got Jamel Herring, you know what I'm saying? Getting down. So I'm excited about that too. I think he's gonna beat Carl Frampton, bro. I think he's gonna beat him relatively easy. Like I said, man, he got the best team in boxing. If you see how Maurice Hooker came to fight against Virgil Ortiz when nobody gave him a shot to do anything against Virgil Ortiz, that just goes to show you the preparation that them boys in Omaha, Nebraska put in. They put a lot of man hours up in there to make sure these fighters is ready. And so I'm going with Jamel Herring. That's me, myself personally. Maybe I'm being biased, but fuck it. You know what I'm saying? I'm always biased. You know what I'm saying? Nothing new here. Dude, it was exciting, man. It was exciting, bro. I'm not even gonna lie, dude. I was excited about that fight. It was a lot of action. It's still gonna take me getting used to them just being on the ground and just land on each other. I gotta get used to that part because I just want the referee to say, "Get your ass up." You know what I'm saying? I just want the referee to be like, "Get your ass up, man. You ain't fuck that. You ain't doing shit." But as a part of jiu-jitsu, so. Might win the fight, but the judges might get. Nah, man, it's Dubai, man. You know what I'm saying? We ain't. That's a neutral site, bro. They both MTK global fighters. They both old as hell. So So I don't think it'll be. I don't think they're gonna rob him, but I do think he's gonna win that fight. So that's my take on that, man. The women fight though, listen, that shit was good, man. They was dropping bombs on each other too. I wonder, dude. I really wonder if Deontay Wilder hit somebody with them baby ass gloves, what'd happen? You know what I'm saying? Because them gloves are small as hell. If Deontay Wilder hit somebody with them gloves, dude, shit, they're gonna be out for a couple of days, nigga. So y'all let me know what y'all thought about that card tonight and what y'all think about the fight tomorrow. SF City Slicker, what's going on, man? What's happening? Let's see. Let me see.
At the roots, he let the beats be.
I don't know if y'all gonna be able to see this, but
At the roots, he let the beats build bitch. And we never switch. Even if I'm rich, I'll be broke like I'm Mitch. Niggas talking down, but that's headed in the wrong direction. But I knock that shit out like the boxing section.
Now, if you seen it in that corner, me and Jamel Herring, so that's why I gotta rock with. I gotta rock with it. I gotta rock with it. Highly anticipated. What's going on, big dog? Oakland's the Bay Area's in the crib, man. California's in the house, man. Shout out to y'all. Yeah, that belt. Hey, listen, it's like, dude, Bellator and UFC is like PBC and Top Rank, bro. You know what I'm saying? You just don't know what to expect from either one. But one of them has the major name fighters, but Bellator is like Top Rank, where like, okay, PBC has all the big name fighters, right? But when it comes to certain divisions, but then when you go to Top Rank, they have some good fights on. You know what I'm saying? You might not know who these people are, but then, as far as the name recognition, but they be having, but it's hell of a fight. So that's kind of what was up with Bellator. Like, I didn't really know nobody for the most part, so I'm just kind of watching, trying to just see who I like, versus UFC, where the fighters, you know what I'm saying? The fighters, so you kind of like more engaged. But man, it was good, man. I can't even lie, dude. I really enjoyed that card, man. And what I'm thinking is, maybe maybe it's too much like right. Maybe I don't know shit about nothing. The PBC and Showtime and Bellator, they need to go whoop whoop. You know what I'm saying? There needs to be a boxing match on a card, dude. I'm telling you, I think if they had a boxing match on an MMA card and vice versa, I think it'd be player. Oh yeah. Hey, Holly, this is ready. Yeah, you missed out for sure. You missed out for sure, bro. That card was hella good, man. They gotta do, like DB always says, man. JB, what's going on, big dog? Join the panel if you want to. Let me put it back in the chat just in case y'all want to join this joint. What's up, Santos Boxing, man? My God, man. The OG, man. Yo, man, we got two OGs, man. Him and Shelby, man. I love them dudes, man. They come and show me love every day, man. Much love to them too, man. For real, for real. They the heart and soul of the boxing section, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If you want to join the panel, it's in the chat. So, we gonna talk a little bit of this, a little bit of that, man, until DJ comes on. And when DJ comes on, we'll switch it back. But for right now, though, yeah. But I think that Bellator and the PBC, they need to come together, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's what they need to do. They need to come together, and they need to cross promote, bro. Yeah, they do need to promote a little better, but I think the core MMA fans watch that fight tonight. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think, man. I think the core MMA fans watch that fight tonight. But yeah, shit was good though. Nah, it's like boxing. You know how like the card we didn't really want, but we enjoyed it? That's what Bellator was. That's exactly how I felt about Bellator. It's not the fight that we wanted, but it was a fight that we was able to enjoy. Santos Boxing, the OG. What's going on, big dog?
What's happening, Cal? What's going on, my man?
Man, you know, man, another one like the other one. Did you
All
catch
right.
the MMA fight tonight, the Bellator?
Nah, man, it was my sleeping time, man. I was disappointed. I was trying to find a replay on it because I got that Showtime app on my phone now, but they hadn't put it on for a replay. Uh, I figured they might show it sometime during the night or early in the morning. I'll try to catch. I'm definitely planning to catch it, but yeah, I couldn't get him. I wanted to so bad, but I know I wouldn't have gotten it any sleep,
Yeah,
and
no,
so I had to make that sacrifice and get that rest, man.
nah, for sure, man. I ain't mad at you at all for that one.
Yeah.
It was a hell of a card though. Give me your prediction for tomorrow.
Uh, Tomorrow's fight. Refresh my. I know who it is, but I can't think right now, man. Uh, I had a hard sleep this evening, man. I usually don't sleep that hard.
I got
Uh,
Dre Books,
uh,
Jamel Herring, Carl Frank.
yeah, that's it, Frampton. Yeah, I knew it because I was just thinking about it earlier. Um, my heart wants Herring to win the fight, but it's gonna be a tough fight, man. That Frampton, he can fight, man, and he looked hella good in his last couple fights I've seen him in, man. And I just hope he looked better than Jamal looked in his last fight. I'll put it that way. But Jamal, he can fight too, and he's got a hell of a camp behind him.
Jamel Herring fought a head button nigga. You know what I'm saying? That was a hell of a hard fight, bro.
Yeah. I remember that. I saw the fight, and he said he was dizzy, couldn't see or something. And his corner talked him into quitting that fight, but I'm sure he was probably hurt. His vision probably was messed up. But at the same time, hopefully he looks better than what he did in the last fight. Because I mean, he didn't look that great before the head, but I mean, he was getting a lot of head, but
knockdown before the head, but
he got a knockdown before the head, but
yeah.
But I don't remember him. I don't remember him just handling that guy though.
Go back and watch that fight.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Apparently I missed. Maybe you know what? I think I dwelled on the situation with the head, but I think I remember that more than anything, and just forgotten because it wasn't a whole lot of rounds that went by before that. So I'll go back and check it out.
He dropped him. Shakur Stevenson is I think by far. I think Shakur Stevenson is the best at 130, man. And then I think it goes him, then Chris Colbert, Jamel Herring. You can flip flop, Chris Colbert or Jamel Herring. You can flip flop the two, but for the sake of argument,
who you think is better between Shakur and Colbert? I got my pick already, but who do you think is the better of the two?
Shakur Stevenson. Going with the light skinned guy.
Huh?
Going with the light skinned guy, Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah, that's what I thought you said. I was making sure. I think he's the better of the two. That was already my pick.
Yeah.
Because I hear a lot of people say something about Colbert. I like Colbert. Don't get me wrong. But I hear a lot of people say something about him and Tank. I just don't see him beating Tank. I've been hearing that a lot the past month. And I think it's something I'm missing. I've seen Colbert fight quite a few times. I've seen Tank fight to me, Tank fights are more exciting, and they have a little bit more dramatic finishes on the average versus Colbert. And I'm not taking anything from Colbert. He's a hell of a fighter, man. I like the kid, but I just don't see him beating Tank, though. I really don't.
Join the panel. Yeah, man.
What do you think about that?
I think that's a good, great fight, bro.
I'm thinking most people are thinking that Cobra's going to outbox Tank. That's what I'm thinking. Tank takes a hell of a punch, man. I don't see Cobra knocking him out. And I've never seen Cobra hurt, but I've never seen Cobra fighting any major competition either.
Oh, well, I'm tired of shit. Hey, I'm tired as hell, Lance. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm tired of shit. I'm tired.
I feel you.
Well,
I was excited to see y'all here, man.
Hey man, you know I had to come on, man. I gave my word last night, so I said shit. Let me, cause I was gonna tell DJ, man, shit. I was hoping he said he couldn't come today, cause I for sure was gonna say, all right, cool. I wasn't gonna come on.
Right. Well, yeah, I was shocked to see you, man, because Friday night is hard for me to find anybody out here, you know, when I'm driving, because a lot of people take off. I blame Fred for that, because he kind of got that Friday on the shutdown. he don't go out on Friday, so a lot of other people don't go live on Friday nights.
Yeah, I'm gonna start doing it just because of that. Uh-oh. Yeah. Hold up. We got the top dog. We got dog. You know what I mean? Listen.
What up, family? What up?
Hey, I'm about to mute my mic and turn off my camera. Has arrived. The only person left to come on the MMA division of the boxing session is DJ. We looking forward to no other than my homeboy.
What's up, DB?
DB.
What's up, Santos? How you feeling, man? What's up to all the brothers in the chat? Man. I see Santos already jumped in here, man. The brother Mark Nash, Hustler Slim, Rob G Film, Tone Brown, Dave Jack in the building. Who else you got in there? Jalen in the building. Salute Jalen. Who else in there, man? DJ, where you at? I see you. Okay, go DJ right there. DJ. Matrix R in the building. Kene.
DJ got a handle.
Lance Meyer. SF City Slicker. Salute. Highly anticipated. JB, where you at? I didn't know JB was already in the chat. Yeah. Let me see. Dre Boog. Dre Boog done added the chef in the front, huh? Okay, cook it up then, brother. Right on, man. Shout out to all y'all brothers, man. Listen, we had a good night of mixed martial arts, man. Bellator put on a good event. I like the production. Everything looked good. I think the two things about the card. Number one, if you guys, for the guys who've been watching MMA, you guys know that Mike Goldberg, who was a play-by-play announcer, and he was also Joe Rogan's partner in the UFC for a long time, is not with Bellator anymore. And there wasn't really any bad blood to say. It was just a production decision, I guess, by Viacom or by it had to be by Viacom because Scott Coker is the president. So it was beyond his control. And he and Mike Goldberg are good friends. So, but that was one thing. I didn't know that he was gone already. And the other thing is, with the music of the production, I think the camera angles, the filming, the clarity, all that stuff was pretty good. But the music, and I think that's one thing that being an American-based company, so for example, if you're ONE FC or if you're EFC and you're in South Africa or you're in Japan or somewhere else, you can mix up the music. What the fuck is that? Hold on, something failed in here. Sorry. All right. But that rock and roll country music, we can't get with that.
Is that what they did?
Yeah, they were playing a lot of sound like you're traveling across town. I mean, you know this better than anybody else. You're traveling across town and you stop in a little convenience store in Oklahoma. Right. In Oklahoma, and they playing the music in the background. It's just some old country, like rock and roll kind of music. Yeah, that kind of destroyed the feel.
What city were they in? I didn't get to see anything because I had to sleep, but I plan to watch it later. But what city were they in? Did they host the fight?
Damn, it could have been in Houston. I'm not even sure.
Houston?
I knew it. But
they should have had a mix of music then.
Yeah, and that's one thing that they have to do. I'm gonna send a message to Scott Coker today. I meant to do it when I was watching the fights, but yeah, they gotta work on that, man. Everybody enjoys our music. And when I say our music, I just mean pop cultural music. If they play 50 Cent, Candy Shop, everybody in the place will know that song. If they end up playing Kendrick Lamar, anything, right? Just any one of those songs, everybody will know it, and people at home will get a chance to bounce their shoulders. People at the venue will get a chance to rock out. They can play some old school Run DMC, but they have to work on the music. I think outside of that,
but to me, MMA, combat sports, MMA, boxing, the kind of music genre that I'm accustomed to hearing is, you know, you hear some rock songs sometimes, you know, but it's mostly hip hop and pop, you know, and occasional hardcore like metal type music. I don't hear that as much as I used to early in the, you know, you know, when I used to watch Strike Force a lot, I used to hear a little bit more metal in the beginning of their infinite stages, but everybody kind of migrated over to the pop and hip hop culture, mostly hip hop. It seems like, and that's what I got accustomed to hearing.
Yeah, I think my brother Dre Boog put it in there, like Kendrick Lamar. Please don't kill my vibe, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Those are the ones, and you know, Touche, right? Please don't kill my vibe with the weak music. They have to change that music.
Let me ask you this. Was that the music in between fights, or was that the intro music for a fighter to come out to?
No, they came out to the fighters always are able to come out to their own music, even local circuit all the way up to the big shows. Yeah. And they came out to good music, but once the like in the interim and break time and introductions and all of that, it was that music. But man, I'll start from the top of the card, man. Patricio Pitbull is he's a GOAT, man. The dude is just.
You gotta start with that, man. You please start with that last, man. That shit that we got to let that marinate, man.
It don't matter. But I'll start with the ladies, man. At 135 pounds, they had Alejandro Lara with her little cute self going against Kana Watanabe out of Japan. And they had a nice bang 'em up scrap, man. These are two girls that really got at it. They both well-rounded. You know, they're not a striker against a grappler. They both are pretty well-rounded with their fighting styles. And they got in there and scrapped it out, man. And it went to a close decision. And Kana Watanabe from Japan, she won a split decision in that fight. But Alejandra has nothing to hang her head about because she went in there and gave it all she got. She put her heart into it. And, you know, she'll if she's not a champion in the future, she'll contend for a title. So nothing to hang her head on. Then after that, let's see, we had what do we have? We had the heavyweights at 265 pounds, which is heavyweight. Tyrell Fortune was going against Jack May. Now Jack May is from down here. He's from the east side of LA, from out of Whittier. And you know, I'm always bigging up my hometown folk, but au contraire, mon frere. And I told y'all last night, or was it the day? Yeah, last night. I'm not going against Ty Fortune. Ty Fortune is a banger. He gets in there and he throws punches. And he got in there, and Jack May was talking a lot of shit to him at the weigh-ins and also at the pre-fight press conference earlier in the week. And Ty told him, he said, "Man, stop all the talking. We're gonna get into a fist fight." And that's what I used to tell motherfuckers, like, hey, when we do a face-off and all of that, ain't no reason for all of the extras. You know what I'm saying? You put your nose against my nose, you touch me, anything like that, I'm taking off on you. I don't give a fuck about that paycheck tomorrow. Touch me and I'm at your ass. So Ty Fortune told him, he said, "Man, listen, no need for all the extra talking." And Jack May just kept talking and talking and talking. So Ty went in there, gave him a couple of heavy punches to think about. And when he started thinking about those punches, and went right down to his wrestling, snatched his legs from under him, went for a single, and did a nice little old school trip, and got on top of him, and you know, advanced his position, and started throwing punches at him. And Jack May got up, and Ty snatched his leg from him again, went for a nice little trip, had him against the cage, pulled Jack May a little closer towards the center of the cage, and turned him a little bit so he couldn't use the cage as his ally to get up. And he started raining punches on him. And Jack May didn't want any more. He quit in the middle of the fight. You know, he just covered up. He wasn't intelligently defending himself. He was holding his hands up and begging for the referee to stop the fight. And the referee said, "Shit, I'm gonna stop the fight." For anybody who's competed in MMA, especially if you're on the West Coast, you know these referees that we have. You know what I'm saying? Listen, they'll go backstage and they'll tell you beforehand, especially if Herb Dean or Mike Beltran is reffing your fight. They'll tell you in the locker room, They have fighters meetings. All fighters in the blue corner come to the front. One ref is there. We have a fighter in another one. And they'll tell you, if you don't want to be in there and you're not defending yourself, if you're not punching back, that's a sign of you telling me that you don't want to be in there and I'm going to stop the fight. So when fans and spectators are watching these fights and they go, oh, that was an early stoppage. No, referee told this motherfucker backstage an hour before, if you don't move and if you do X, Y, and Z, I'm going to stop the fight. So I don't really believe in those, too many of those when they start say quick stoppages.
That's some good education you just shared right there, because I know I didn't know that what the referees what all they say to fighters and prospects in the back, before they come out. But it's good to know that. And so that'll help fans out.
Yeah, so what they do is they'll come back there and it'll be one ref talking and there'll be another ref there with him to demonstrate some of the movements and things. And then there's obviously somebody there, part of the commission, maybe 3 or 4 people from the commission watching dudes get their hands wrapped. And it'll be one person from the commission sitting in a chair in front of you. And then there's another person that's supposed to watch that person. And that the second person maybe bounce from locker room to locker room. And they're only there for the signature after the hands are already wrapped. And I can tell you from personal experience, if you get cool people, and I'm not gonna say no names, you know what I'm saying, and I'm not gonna say which commissions, but you get cool enough with these people in the commissions, man, they're not watching you. Right. They don't keep their eye on you 100% of the time. Maybe about 70 to 80% of the time. Yeah, it's the same people. So, some things can happen, but I think they kind of have an idea, the people that are new to fighting, people that they've never been in the cage with before, or people that's there acting unruly during the fighter meetings, during the press conferences and all of that stuff. But they'll let you know about the being a grounded opponent, defending yourself, submissions without tapping, all of that stuff. They'll talk about all of that in the back. And they'll ask you if you have any questions. And then they'll ask you if you need a translator. So in the case like when Peter Yan, the former champion, when he fought Aljamain Sterling, when people go, oh, but he's Russian, he doesn't know what's going on. No. If they have Spanish speakers, if they have Russians there, they're going to have somebody to translate what's going on. So there's none of that shit that they didn't know what was happening. So we can't use those excuses for foreign or non-English speaking combatants. So anyhow, Khabib's cousin, Usman Nurmagomedov, he fought against the veteran Mike Hamill. And Mike Hamill was fighting, I believe, at 145 before. And he was cutting too much weight. And he decided to keep an extra 10 pounds and start fighting at lightweight, fighting at 155. And he looked good, man. I mean, he had good cardio and he was able to move around a lot. But Usman Nurmagomedov is one of the people from Khabib Nurmagomedov's camp up in Dagestan who does not rely on his wrestling. He's a striker. He's a taekwondo guy. So if you saw there, he was throwing a lot of punches and a lot of kicks. And one of the things I really liked about him is that he really mixed it up, and he would go for a jab, and then he would go for a double jab, and then a low kick. And then he would go for a 1-2, and then he'd go for a body kick. And then he'd go a 1-1-1, and then he'd back up, and then he'd pretend like he's going to throw a flying knee, and then he throws a kick to the head. So he was really mixing it up and had some diverse striking. And I think maybe 2 or 3 times in a fight, he went for takedowns, So with a well-balanced attack like that, man, I think he'll be good. And just having a bunch of winners and in your gym gives you a winning attitude, gives you that mentality like, shit, I can't be beat. And if I'm beat, I can just get back in there again and redeem myself. So, I like him. I don't know what's next for him. I think Scott Coker said possibly by the end of the summer, he'll have another fight, So he didn't get any injury, so there's no medical suspensions by the commission. So he should be back in business in the next 2 to 3 months. Let's see.
How do you see him? How do you see him in the UFC if he goes? How do you see him doing?
I don't care about the UFC. That's not what we're talking about. And I think we have to respect Bellator for what they're putting together. You know, if I was on another platform, you know, I'm not going to be on here, and I'm not going to be talking about a platform of some other YouTuber somewhere. Like, this is, we got to give respect to Kyle. This is about the boxing section and MMA for Dummies. So I don't like to really, I don't want to contribute to saying that all the talent is at the UFC. There's a ton of talent that's in Bellator. But just to answer your question though, he's still young. He's 22 years. He's just turned 22 years old. I think he'll do well in the UFC once he's a little more developed. The UFC is top heavy. So their top 15 guys are really, really good. But then after that, it's just a bunch of, you know, mediocre, talented fighters.
Hey, DB, is it fair to say that Bellator is actually competing against UFC, or they're not graduating these guys to a league like UFC, are they? They're more like competing against them, aren't they?
Yeah. So it's funny because the president of the UFC, Dana White, the guy that looks like Uncle Fester, the guy that's really good friends with Donald Trump, you know, he struck gold. You know, he did help build this company, but you know, the talent is the boxers and the kickboxers and the Muay Thai guys and the judokas and the jiu-jitsu players. Those guys are the ones in the octagon. Those are the ones putting in the blood, sweat, and tears and competing. And you know, I think these guys should get a little more credit. But anyway, a reporter asked Dana White about two of the Bellator fighters. This is just a few weeks ago, and Dana kept squinting his eyes, and saying, "Who? And because these reporters are so, that's why I can't wait till we get back out there, because I'm gonna have the barbershop credentials, you know, and I'm gonna be in the motherfucker acting a fool. They're gonna kick me out too, like they did Fred. But he act like he didn't know who they were. And the reporter should have easily said, well, the guy that you're allowing to fight for your lightweight title at 155 pounds, Michael Chandler, is the guy that just came from Bellator. You know, the guy that you guys have fighting for a BMF title or fighting against George Masvidal in one of the biggest fights of 2019, I believe, was Ben Askren. You know, so like let's cut the shit, Dana. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know who these guys are, and there's tons of fights there. But let's see, who else was after that? Oh, the co-main event. Was it the co-main?
Oh,
yeah.
man.
It was Neiman Gracie and the ass-kicking machine, Jason Jackson. Shout out to my Jamaican rude boy. You know what I mean? They're fighting at welterweight at 170 pounds. And this is the classic example of striker versus grappler. Hold on, let me look in the chat real quick. I don't even know if the brothers are saying anything. Let me see.
You got 1,000 questions, DB.
Let's see. Dre Boogie said Kendrick. Cameron said, I'm going to just be in the chat for now. All right. Shout out to Cam. DJ, bear with me, guys. I'm trying to fix the machine as fast as I can. Okay. DJ doing something. Hustler Slim says salute. Salute to my brother, Hustler Slim. He was pumping that jab, Cam said. And DJ said, educate him. Talk to him. Zabit is the same way. Yeah, Zabit is the same way. Cameron says, DB, when you're impressed with Johnson's grown game against Gracie. Oh, yeah, that's what we're going to talk about right now, is ground game. Boxing conversations with Reggie Owens. What up, Reg? Let's see. He said, ask him, Kyle. And then AC in the building. What up, Drewski? Andrew Charles done slid in here, too. All right, cool. There we go. We got the chat all caught up. Yeah, so the co-main event. Neiman Gracie versus the ass-kicking machine, Jason Jackson. This was a good one, man. It was striker versus grappler, and in the end, JJ or Jason Jackson got the nod. It was 29-28 on all scorecards. I was talking to my brother Tank, the Sweet Science Examiner, as y'all know him, throughout the fight, and we both were scoring the fight the same way. I had Jason Jackson winning the first round. I had Gracie potentially winning the second round, and not so much that I thought he won the second round, but he had more control time being on top, even though he wasn't active on top. So I figured that the judges would give that to him, so I gave it to him. And then in the third round, Jason took that round as well. And I think that one of the things that I was scared of first when I seen him going to the ground, Jason stayed inside of Neiman's guard, and I was like, "No, dude, get the fuck out of there! You got a Gracie, and he's 6'1", he's real tall, got long limbs. The easiest way to get your ass submitted." But he used his top game to keep a decent amount of control. But I wish he would have thrown more punches while he was on top. I guess he just didn't want to extend himself or overextend himself to put himself at risk. But he did a good job. And if you guys seen it, I believe it was it in the first? It was I think it was in the first round. As they were transitioning or going for, I think he was going for a takedown, and his face was against the cage and scraped his face against the fence. And if you saw the replay or if you saw it in slow motion, it's like his eyeball was hanging out for a second, and it just scraped his whole. It was pretty nasty. But he couldn't see for a moment. And shout out to Neiman Gracie, because he was talking to him. He was like, "Dude, are you okay? Like, do you want to stop the fight? Because I don't want to apply this choke, and you over here got an eye hanging out." We saw yesterday. I think it was over in Southeast Asia, had a fighter finger come off. So,
I saw that. I saw the highlights. I mean, the photos of that.
Yeah. So shout out to him for being a classy athlete. At the same time, I would have punched his head in though. But Jason got that. And at the end of the fight, man, during the post-fight press conference, beautiful. They said, "What's next?" He said, "Well, shit, I think I'm next for a title shot." And he said, "And if anybody got something to say against it, then shit, we could get out on the squab too." And that's the shit that I love about these warriors, man. He wasn't saying, "Well, this person got to fight this person, and who do they have on their resume? Who has he fought?"
Right.
That punk shit didn't exist. You understand? So
no other percentages.
Yeah, and all of the crazy shit. Shout out to Sean Green in here. Yeah, Mr. Green joined the chat. But
I have a question for you also,
yeah.
When Bellator first kicked off with the zone, am I mistaken? Did UFC have a little hand in that? Was it like a farm type deal? It was totally separate.
Totally separate.
No affiliation. Well, good. I was wondering about that, and I wasn't sure, so that's good. So yeah, they're straight competitors. That's good.
Yeah, so I'll give you a little quick history before I go into this main event here. So Scott Coker is the president of Bellator, and Scott Coker was previously the president of Strikeforce, and before that, he was an executive on another with another organization. But Scott Coker used to have a dojo, and he used to teach traditional karate. And Javier Mendez, not sure if you know who that is. Javier Mendez is the coach for Daniel Cormier, for Khabib Nurmagomedov, for Josh Koscheck, for Mike Swick, and
that whole team, right?
Yeah, a whole Cain Velasquez, a whole bunch of killers. But anyway, Javier Mendez was one of his students. So they have a relationship. They have a really close relationship. Kung Lee, a bunch of these guys were coming from down there. So number one, Scott Coker has personal relationships with these guys, and he was also competing himself. You know what I mean? And Javier Mendez, when he was fighting out of Scott Coker's gym. So, you know, there's a lot of ties, and it's more like a family ties and friend thing, other than just having hardcore business relationships. So,
Yeah. I remember you mentioned a lot of this last night too.
yeah.
That's good. That's good to hear, man. I like the fact that it's more than one dog and pony show in town. You
Yes.
know, because when you got just one organization, they form like a conglomerate, man, and then they have more control over the fighters as well. And last night, you guys educated me on the fact that these fighters, these top end fighters, are starting to get serious money nowadays in the UFC, and that's great to hear. And I know you explained last night the difference in the pay with sponsorship and stuff in the two different organizations. So that was good to hear as well. That leans me more toward that Bellator philosophy for the fighter's sake. When it comes down to that compensation.
Yeah. I thought all the fighters are starting to. Randy Couture and 3 or 4 other veterans were working on a fighters union. I'm not sure about the progress, but I know they have been working on that, and I know that there was 2 or 3 class action lawsuits against the UFC. So when those things happen, it wakes up the people in charge, like Dana White. Sometimes they do things not because they want to, but because they have to, because so many eyes are on them. Yeah,
that's good to hear. Maybe these, if they're successful in forming some type of union, some type of governing body, then maybe one day we'll see that on the other end in the other sport that we love.
Yeah,
so that'd be great.
Yes, indeed. And now the main event of the evening. Woo! We have Patricio.
DB, man,
Hello?
Take your time. Hey, DB, take your time, brother. Take your time.
No. I want to just go through it because I want, if anybody got questions, I want to be able to talk to the dudes and
but you
know what I'm saying?
I just want you, man. Listen, that fight, that main event was so damn. I know it was quick. But damn it, man! If you could just take your time to talk about this main event, man. Look, boy, y'all done turned me into a damn MMA fan, boy. Go ahead, though.
Yeah. So anyway, as Kyle said, this was a quick fight. The main event was Patricio Pitbull versus Emmanuel Sanchez, and this is a. Can somebody go on mute? Sorry about that.
It might be me. Hold on, let me turn. You might. I don't know if you're hearing.
Yeah, thank you. So this is a rematch from about 3 years ago. They fought in 2018 over, I believe, in Abu Dhabi or somewhere. But they had a really good fight then. Emmanuel Sanchez hit him with a couple of pieces, dropped him, I believe, once or twice in that fight, and it was really close. But Patricio Pitbull is just that, man. He's a pit bull, and the height differential was crazy because Emmanuel Sanchez is about 5'9.5", and Pitbull, man, he's a little dude. I've seen him 3 or 4 times, man. He seemed like he about 5'4", but he's probably he seems about 5'3", 5'4". He's probably about 5'5", but he's a little dude. But he's such a vicious little dude, man. He's so well rounded, and it's his attitude, his mentality, is his heart that attracts you to him. But he's got everything is good, man. He's got great striking. He hits hard. He doesn't mind mixing it up, but he's not mixing it up sloppily. He'll give you a nice 2-3 piece, and he'll back up and catch his breath and reassess and get his time in and his distance and everything, and then jump back into the fire. But they tangled a few quick times, and Emmanuel should have used his length. When you hear people say a fighter should fight tall, like Robert Easter or Nate Diaz, anybody, when you hear somebody saying, man, fight tall, you got a height advantage over somebody, especially when you got 4, 5, 6 inches, man, you got to take advantage of that and stay away from that person, because you likely got a significant reach advantage. But anyhow, they mixed it up just a few times, and Emmanuel got comfortable, basically trying to start back where they left off in the last fight. And it didn't work that way. Pitbull knew exactly what was coming. I think he saw a right come down. He slipped a punch, came with a left, bink, caught him on the jaw, dropped Sanchez. Sanchez hits the ground, and then Pitbull goes for his signature choke, which is a guillotine. He didn't try to ground and pound him or to get a TKO or knockout. He knew what his bread and butter was. You a wounded duck? Okay, great. Put your head right here. And he fucking started choking him. And Emmanuel Sanchez was out on his feet before they even hit the ground. And Pitbull looked at the referee. He looked back at him as to say, this dude is out, man. You better fucking do something before he dies in here, because this dude is asleep. Grabbed his hand, and his hand hit the fucking mat, and he was he was out, man. And man, it's just so good to see Pitbull continue to do his business in the cage. But now, what's next? This is the big fight. AJ McKee. So Pitbull is definitely the GOAT of that division, but AJ McKee is, it's like Anderson Silva and Israel Adesanya, Miyagi and Danielson. And AJ McKee is next. And since Pitbull didn't take any damage, and AJ McKee just came off of a nice quick win without taking any damage, Scott Coker said they are looking to be lined up somewhere in the summertime. He said possibly July, but no later than August. So these dudes are ready to scrap, man, and it's getting ready to go down. And that fight, that's one of those fights that if you're not an MMA fan, after seeing a fight like that one that's coming up, yeah, that's sure to get you there, because they've got everything. They've got the OG look with the menacing face versus the young pretty boy. They both have family members who compete. Pitbull's brother and AJ McKee is the son of Antonio McKee that fought in the UFC for a while. It was shit fought all over the place. They both come from good teams. They can both talk the talk. Neither one of them ain't scared of the other one. They both want to fight each other, and this has just been brewing for a minute. And the fight probably would have already happened actually if COVID didn't kick in. So they probably would have fought, 6 to 12 months ago, and we probably would have been looking at a rematch by now. Who knows? But oh man, this was beautiful. Let me see. DJ said Pitbull versus AJ McKee is going to be an amazing fight. Absolutely, DJ. I'm so pumped for that one, man. Damn. What Tom Brown said, he said Pitbull became the first guy to stop Emmanuel Sanchez. Yes, indeed. Emmanuel Sanchez got a chin on him. He got good defense on the ground. He knows how to defend those submissions. And, when you get hit by a dude like Pitbull, though, you can't do much. Brother Boxing Talk in the building. Salute to you. He said Bellator on Showtime is nice. Yeah, it was clear, man. Had good production. I liked it. TB said that's what boxing doesn't have, the best fighting the best. Yeah, man, we got to keep putting pressure on these boxers. And, we keep having these conversations on all of these platforms all day long, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And everybody's taking a side with these boxers. This is my favorite boxer. This is the boxer from my hometown. Listen, if somebody from South Central LA and they being a bitch, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to be like, shit, this dude is being a punk. You know what I'm saying? If the black dude is being a punk and the Ukrainian is calling him out and he ain't getting in the ring, I'm finna call him out on that. Because, shit, for most of us, at least in this chat, we know, man, we don't duck no fades. That ain't how we get down. Especially when you're getting paid for it. You're a combat athlete. Nobody told you to sign up for this. Nobody made you sign up. Nobody told you to take this as a career. You had a chance to opt out when you was doing amateurs. When you was doing local smokers, you had a chance to opt out, but you turned pro and you got a pro card, and that's what you're doing. So, I know Tank competed. I know DJ's doing some jiu-jitsu tournaments. You know what I'm saying? I know Jay Dixon is involved. Y'all okay over there?
Yeah, it's probably me, man. My bad. Let me go back on me. I was going to add to what you said, but I'll go back on me.
Oh, no, go ahead. Add to it.
I'm pulling stuff out of my truck. Well, what I was going to say, I was happy to hear you say what you just said about fans. Dividing each other up. Amongst we all have our favorite fighters, but to watch what the MMA organizations are doing compared to boxing, man, that's what I want to see, and that's what we also want to see as fans, is guys competing, women or whatever, because it's bullcrap when we put our heart and soul into these fighters, and then they act all prima donna like and don't want to fight, and then we all arguing amongst each other on the line, because we got our favorite fighters that we want to see, and these guys and girls are not. Well, I ain't gonna say girls, women, they compete, seem like pretty good for the majority, but they don't have a lot of competition. But these guys, man, they're a bunch of crap, man. They act like. My thing is, when you're in the streets and you competing or you fighting or you're on the amateur level or something, there ain't no bull crap about who's the A side and all that bull crap. It's about what's up, where your heart at. It's all about your heart. And all this bull crap, everybody getting into this my guy. It's okay to want your favorite fighter to win. But when you get to helping your favorite fighter be political about and pick and choose who they're gonna fight because of money, that's a problem for me. Because when I grew up watching, being a fight fan, that wasn't always the issue when I was a kid. The only issue I used to hear about money when I was younger is the fact that the promoters were ripping off the fighters. Now it's about the fighters not wanting to fight because they're not either getting as much as they think they should over another fighter, or B, they just feel like they're not getting enough money, period. And that's okay about that part. But when you talking about a certain percentage you think you deserve over the next fighter and stuff like that. Hold on a second. Man, that's later for that bull crap, man. See, we want to see the fight. And when we argue out here amongst ourselves, these guys are listening to everything that's being said online. When we argue amongst ourselves, they use those same arguments to negotiate their deals. And then we're out here wondering why we're not getting the fights. But we have a lot to do with that. We have perpetuated a lot of that activity and energy from these guys. I think the worst thing that could have happened to this Spence and Crawford fight is us fans talking about who should get the most money. I think that's been the worst and biggest service we've done to not get that fight. Now, I will admit, when Deontay was going through his thing with Joshua, I was not out here verbally, as you guys know, but I was hitting the chats a few years ago, every now and then, and I felt like they were robbing, and I still feel that way, that they were robbing Deontay. They're going to pay him peanuts compared to the other guy, but at the same time, it wasn't my money, and I should have kept my opinion about the money out of it. And maybe, now Deontay did agree to the $15 million in the end, even after they had already offered, $50 million minimum guarantee to the other guy. But I'm just saying, man, we got the money being in the public conscious, giving us the opportunity to help discuss it. I feel like it kept us from getting that fight, and it's definitely kept us from getting this Spence and Crawford fight. And we don't realize that we've shot ourselves in the foot. We did a lot of that damage ourselves. Oh shoot, my bad. As fans, so we just gotta have a different mindset about how we're gonna encourage these fighters to give us what we want. And the best way to do that is to tell each fighter, no matter from what side they're competing from, let them know, hey, you need to get in there and fight. We want to see these fights. We as fans are supporting you, and we want to see the fight. And when they see that we're not going to be clowning and arguing against ourselves, about the percentages and all that, I think we'll get a little bit different activity from these guys.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, man. I think once we start saying, I don't care how much these guys get paid. I mean, we want these guys to be able to make a living, of course, right? We don't want these guys homeless or being one of those fighters who was legendary and ends up being in a pickle, a tight situation later on. That just hurts our hearts to know that one of our brothers is struggling. But when these dudes are out here making big money and they riding around in this coupe and that coupe and this stretched and this luxury and this European, they got 7 to 10 cars. Man, don't talk about no fight purse. I don't give a fuck how much you get paid. Get your punk ass in a ring or in a cage and fight somebody. So yeah, you 100% right. Santos, these dudes need to get in there, but it starts with us, man. We gotta stop always picking sides. Listen, if somebody's blatantly ducking or doing something weird, we call that person out for it. But when nobody's done anything weird yet, we shouldn't be picking sides. But he said this, but I think he's scared, man. Reggie Owens used to say this all the time. Why we got to pick one? Why we can't have 2 favorite fighters? Why both of our favorite fighters can't be fighting each other? We don't got to pick a side of the fence. So I agree with you.
Yeah. DB.
Yep.
I know we talking about Bellator. I got you. I understand fully. Would you want to see this if it could happen? Like, it's a fantasy, of course.
Yep. 100%. I already know.
Would you want to see champion versus champion?
Absolutely.
I think that's something that'd be dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think Bellator versus UFC would be dope. Because I think it's some guys in Bellator, like you say, because that Jason Jackson dude, what he gets, damn. For him to overcome that eye early like that, like, you know what I'm saying? To get it to for that to happen to his eye so early in the fight, and for him to overcome it was amazing. So I just want to, I want to see something, I like him. Though. I thought he was I thought he was good, man. When I was watching, I was like, I like this dude, man. I
was just thinking that very same thing you just said, Cal, about 20 minutes ago when DB was speaking. I would love to see both organizations, all organizations, have a tournament that pitted them all, like a bracket, and they all met up at the end and for the biggest fight, and boom. That'd be awesome, man. Anytime it's combat sports, individual sports, it'd be great to see them come to the end of the season or a tournament or whatever, and then there's only one team. Well, we got team sports like that already, but we have one individual that stands tall in each of these divisions, man. No matter which combat sport we're speaking of, I would love to see that at all. That's I mean, man, that make you just salivate all over this sport, man. And that'd be awesome to have. And what we were saying a minute ago, the fight that everybody's been having, fans and fighters alike, the fight needs to be not amongst the fighters as far as percentages. It shouldn't be amongst the fans. The fight should be between the fighters and the promoters, if there's going to be a fight. And that's the way it was back in the day. Fighters had to argue against promotion about what their cut was of the show. So I mean, that's the way they need to keep it. But anyway, those organizations need to compete at the end, man. That'd be great to see who's actual hardest dude in each division. That'd be awesome, man.
All right, DB. This is one of the ones we couldn't get to last night, DB. But go ahead, go to that point, and then we'll move on. Go ahead, DB.
Yeah. So a couple of things I want to get in the chat, so I won't skip it. But DJ said ONE FC has a card on April 7th. Mighty Mouse and Eddie Alvarez are fighting, so we got to support those other organizations too, so we can continue building them so we get better fights. Let's see. Brother Boxing Talk says, hey, should they put Pitbull versus AJ on big CBS to bring casual fans? Oh, that's a really good question. That's a really good question. Let's get back to that question. I want to get that question with Tank and DJ and the rest of the brothers in here, so we can. I don't even know what I feel about that shit.
What was the question?
If Bellator should get Pitbull and AJ McKee on big CBS, prime time, to attract more casual fans.
I mean, they got it. They got the channel to do it. You know what I'm saying? They got the channel to do it. But I think if it stays on Showtime, it builds Showtime up, and it'd be hard to take it away from Showtime.
Yeah. Brother Boxing Talk says Pitbull is the best 145-pounder in the world. He's one of the top 4. Yeah, that's for sure. One of the top 4, top 5. 145 is a man. That's a yeah. I can't say that he's the best because damn. Alexander Volkanovski's there. He's good. Max Holloway is there. He's good. My homeboy Brian Ortega is there. He real good. It's man. You got AJ. Yeah, it's tough, man. Worldwide, like that's tough. Let's see. Tone Brown, I got that already. My brother Boxing Talk said Pitbull is so damn underrated. Yeah, that's a fact. Not by his peers, and not by people who are watching Bellator, but for the MMA community as a whole, yeah. Let's see who y'all got in that fight. Which fight? Oh, you mean the AJ McKee and the Pitbull fight? Damn. I'm gonna give it to AJ. AJ's a little taller and he knows how to use all of his weapons. He doesn't try to knock you out with every punch. He knows how to pick his shots, and he hits you in places where it hurts. He hits you in unexpected places. He'll hit you on your shoulder and then hit you with a right to the shoulder and then hit you with a low left to the rib. Then he'll trip you and then jump on top of you and go for a submission. He's hella limber. Like he's got everything, man. So that is it's pretty evenly matched in terms of like skill, but he's a little taller and he's never tasted defeat. He's younger, got great cardio. I've been choked out by him before, so I know this dude is a monster. I got AJ, and that I also got to go for the home team. So, but I love watching Pitbull get down. Let me see, who do you think between Patricio and Alexander? TB, you talking about Volkanovski? If so, I got Pitbull beating Volkanovski. Yeah.
Because Volko's the paper champ, in my opinion. First of all, hello, fellas. Sorry it took me so long to get to the show. Somebody tore something up, and as a mechanic, I gotta fix it. So,
DJ is joining the show. What up, brother?
What's going on, my MMA brother? What's going on, Kyle? Salute to the boxing section. My brother Santos boxing in the building. How you feeling tonight, fellas?
Man, hey, listen.
Unbelievable.
What's up, DJ? How you doing, my man?
Good.
Fantastic, man. Fantastic.
Let's revisit some of these fights. I'm just going through it like 3 or 4 more questions in the chat, and then let's revisit some of this. So let me see.
Okay.
Cam said who y'all got in that fight. We said that right there. Well, yeah, you go. Might as well go in and jump in with that right there. In the Patricio and Alexander Volkanovski. Who would you pick in that fight?
I got Pitbull in that fight, man. He has a more well-rounded game. To me, I believe that Volkanovski lost that last Max Holloway fight, and I'm kind of biased because I love Max Holloway. But I think he has more tools in his tool bag than Volkanovski, man. Volkanovski has great kickboxing coming out of that great gym with Izzy Adesanya and Dan Hooker and some more guys and some more killers that are over there. He has great kickboxing naturally, but I just feel like if it turns into a grappling match or if it turns into anything inside the clinch, I believe Pitbull would have the edge in that. Now, as far as knockout power, they're about equal. If I had to say that, but I just believe Pitbull has more skills than Volkanovski.
Okay, and then also in Pitbull versus AJ fight, who you got in that?
I'm going with the young lion, man. Until I see him lose, I'm not picking against him. Even though Pitbull, no pun intended, he's a dog. Like I was saying last night, he's the real deal. I think, as we say, he's good at any hood. He's good at any promotion. He's not just beating up on quote-unquote Bellator guys. I just got to go with the young lion, man. His length, his jiu-jitsu, his striking. He has real funky striking. He hits you with these weird angles. And I just believe it's going to be hard for Pitbull to time him down. With that being said, Pitbull is a veteran, and he's seen pretty much every style that you can put in front of him. And more often than not, he's come out victorious. So, but with that being said, the young lion, AJ McKee, does not have a loss on his record. And until that man loses, there is no blueprint on how to beat him. So I'm going to go with AJ McKee on that one.
Yeah, I would agree. One thing that's good to hear Scott Coker talk about in the post-fight presser or his post-fight interview, he said that was a big fight, one of the biggest fights, obviously, in the company, and that he was going to put a lot of marketing dollars in that fight to make sure that everybody knows that fight is coming up. So that was refreshing to hear.
They'll probably fight late July. I don't think they'll try to compete with that. I don't know how COVID protocols are now, but July 4th weekend is always a big weekend in MMA with International Fight Week. So do you think he would try to compete with the UFC on that card, or do you think he pushes back a couple weeks?
No, because what I think they'll be doing is, so I think LFA will be doing fights on Thursday, Bellator Friday, UFC Saturday. And I like that, and I hope it stays that way, because then we get a chance to see everything, unless they were doing fights in the morning, afternoon, and evening. But I don't think I think that would be wrong.
Saturday for sure. I like the setup, man. I like that setup. I really do. I like the way it's going down. I got to watch the Bellator. Then we get to watch the fights tomorrow if they come on. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's a nice little domino, man.
And them being on Showtime, man, they were promoting the hell out of Jaron Boots Ennis between every fight.
Yeah, I noticed that. It's like, oh yeah, they really put some marketing dollars behind Boots, man, and rightfully so. But the man's got to come through and deliver the goods, man. He can't. What he can do is go out there and make this fight closer than it should be, because I think he gets living that side of there inside of 8. If Mikey Garcia, ain't nothing to sneeze at. I mean, the man's a great fighter, but the man's 122, 126 pounder, and he knocked him down. Let's be honest about that. So if he can do that to him, there's no telling what Boots is going to do. I think he gets out. I think he gets him out of there at 8. I don't think he comes off the stool here in around 8.
Agreed. Brother Boxing Talk says, how do you feel about Magomedov? I think he's a good striker. Different. Again, he's one of those from Dagestan that's different from the rest of them. Kickboxing champion. But he's probably about almost 40 years old. So, whatever he's going to do, he's going to do it in the next 2 years. But yeah, I mean, I just think he's good, but I don't see him taking over anything. What about you, DJ?
Who are we talking about?
Magomedov.
Oh, I didn't see him fight, so I couldn't tell you nothing about that. I can't speak on him.
He also says, what do you think about Vadim Nemkov? That dude is a freaking monster. He said that he's the next best light heavyweight since John Jones. I don't know if I'd take it that far, but he's beat Ryan Bader. He beat Rafael Carvalho. He beat Phil Davis. He beat Allison Vicente. Like, he beat some dudes, man. I don't think he lost a fight in the last 5 or 6 years. So he's real good. But if he can, if he stays in there, if he can beat Ryan Bader again, beat Rumble Johnson, he can beat Corey Anderson. I mean, it's some dudes in that division now. And I think if he can run through those dudes, then we can start talking about comparing them to John Jones. John is the GOAT. DJ?
About to say, yeah, that's a tall hill to climb compared to somebody to John Jones, man. But him beating Ryan Bader showed me a lot, which I don't think Ryan Bader should have came back down to 205. I think he needs to stay at heavyweight. I think he looks real good at heavyweight, even though he's an undersized heavyweight. He's probably only weighing in at 225, which tells me he's just not cutting weight. He doesn't have to gain weight or lose weight. He's just not cutting weight at all. But him beating Ryan Bader showed me a lot. Now, if he gets in there and he starches Rumble Johnson or beats Rumble Johnson, and you can't forget that Yoel Romero is also there now, so that'll also be a tough fight for him. But he's got a good ways to go before we start putting him in GOAT status with John Jones.
I want to answer a Matrix R question real quick, and then we can go back to Kyle's about organization versus organization super fights. He said, what do you think about Claudia Gadelha? I know she's not on that card, but what do you think about her? I think Claudia Gadelha is one of those fighters who will always be in the top 10, but can't seem to beat the girls in the top 5. She'll beat a number 4 girl, and then they'll give her a chance to fight the number 3 girl, and then she'll get demolished. And then she'll go down and face the number 8 girl, beat her up real bad, and then she goes back into the top 5 and get beat. She can string together 3 or 4 really good wins, but I think when it comes to the top girls, just something that's there. I don't know if she got a really short reach. Her stand-up is pretty good. She's a black belt in Taekwondo, and she's a jiu-jitsu black belt. But I think just putting it all together, something about the elite girls that just escapes her. What do you think, DJ?
Agreed. She's a gatekeeper in that strawweight division. I think a move up in weight would really benefit her. Like you said, the top 5 girls she's not going to beat. And in my opinion, she lost that Angela Hill fight. I thought Angela Hill beat her. And they ended up giving her, I think it was a split decision win over Angela Hill. I thought Angela Hill pieced her up pretty good. But yeah, she's solid on the feet. She's nothing special. She does a lot of things good, but she doesn't have a signature thing that she can go to. Like, her kicks are above average. Her punching power is above average. The way she strings together combinations, if she strings together them at all, because she falls into that Tyron Woodley thing where she just likes to sit and wait, but she doesn't necessarily have the power to knock people out. Now, what she was able to rely on earlier in her career, she was able to overpower girls and submit them or take them down and just, work for position, land some ground and pound, and win some decisions. But as far as where she is in her career right now in the strawweight division, she's a gatekeeper. She's a damn good gatekeeper, but that's what she is.
Yep. We got the sweet science examiner. We got the martial arts scholar in the building, my brother Tank. What's up with you, Tank? Jump on, man. Now I want to talk. Let me see.
The link is in the chat, man. Y'all hop on if y'all want to join the panel.
But let me see. So
hey, Tone. Hey, then Tone Brown used to have some good knowledge about MMA on the Frizz on the barbershop in the past. Didn't he used to have some good comments?
Yeah,
Tone. He don't jump on, man. He needs to jump on the panel, man. Let's hear what he has to say.
Yeah, you can jump on, Tone. Where you at? TBA, my bro. Yeah, Tom said Joanna was piecing her up from the second round to the fifth. Yeah, Joanna's got really good striking, man. Joanna just a cunt. But outside of that, man, she could fight her ass off.
Yeah, she's legit crazy. She's one of these chicks that's been fighting professionally since she was about 15 years old. She's a 6-time world Muay Thai champion. She has great striking. But the way Rose and Zhang Wei Li were able to beat her, and even one of my personal favorites, Valentina Shevchenko, was able to beat her. Everything she does is with perfect technique. So if you know anything about Muay Thai, everything is very rhythmic on the beat. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So she gets countered a lot. And she just hadn't adjusted her style. Now she's been able to develop some kind of ground game, but it's not really to submit people or take people down. It's more so to just keep from getting taken down, or if she does get taken down, have the proper technique to where she can get up to where she doesn't get strangled on the way up or somebody takes a limb. But she has magnificent Muay Thai. She was able to overwhelm chicks earlier in her UFC career. But everybody, like I say all the time, once you're the champion, I think she had, 5, 6 title defenses, DB?
Yes, yep.
Like I said, once you're the champion, she's the second champion in the UFC strawweight division after she absolutely demolished Carla Esparza. Like I said, everybody starts watching you, and they're trying to catch up to you and figure out what you're doing. So Rose Namajunas spoke about it, and Valentina Shevchenko, who also beat her in a Muay Thai fight way back when. Everything she does is very rhythmic. It's the same pace. It's always the same pace, so she gets countered a lot. Hence, the beating that she took against Zhang Wei Li, and she took a beating from Rose in both fights. She actually got stopped by Thug Rose in that first fight. So yeah, she's easily countered, but to counter her, that means you have to be there for her to hit you as well. She's a magnificent fighter, but like DB says, she's a weirdo. I'm not gonna call her cunt, but she's definitely, her cheese done slid off a biscuit, if you know what I mean.
Tone Brown, what's going on, big dog?
Oh yeah, what's the word?
GB
What's the
in
word?
the building. Chi-Town, what up?
What's the word?
Hey, Tone Brown. Tone Brown, what's up, my man? Look, I've been listening to you for a year and a half, man, on Fred's Shop, and I bust my cherry about I'm chewing something too. I bust my cherry about a month and a half ago. Start coming on with these guys, man. Man, you got so much knowledge, man. I've heard you say a lot of great things, man. I just wanted to hear you, man. I appreciate you coming on, bro.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate that, man. Nice to meet you, man.
And every now and then you can throw us a little story like you used to early in the barbershop. Some funny stories you used to tell us. You used to crack me up, bro. But it's good to hear your voice, man. I really appreciate that, man.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, Tone, what you think about the main event?
Actually, man, I ain't gonna lie, man. I passed out on the couch, man. I had a clutch coma, man. You feel me? So I ain't even see it.
What about the co-main event?
Oh yeah, man. Hey, man, Jason Jackson, man, he a beast, man. Like, man, his striking, man, was good, man. Like, you feel me? Like, yeah.
Did you see the girls fight?
Yeah, man, I passed out. You feel me? So like, I ain't really see like the good fight. So yeah, I was just listening to y'all.
Okay, Kyle asked us a question a little earlier. I want y'all to get a chance to cook on this. But Kyle was asking if y'all wanted to see organization versus organization in super fights. So, LFA, 1FC, UFC, Bellator, all the heavyweights fighting each other. If y'all could talk about that just a bit.
Oh yeah, man, I would love that, man. Like I would love that. Like I would love if they did like a tournament, like a tournament for like $1 million, like a title unification, like all the all the organizations, and then like they just have like a big event and just all the champions, and you know they promoted for each event, you know, and they just make it like a huge event, and just win it to like 16 or however many champions. That'd be huge. And you can have yeah. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I go ahead and tell you now, UFC ain't gonna do it. They learned their lesson about 20 years ago. You remember when they sent Chuck Liddell over to Japan to fight Rampage Jackson in Pride? And they were supposed to send somebody back. I believe it was Shogun Rule was supposed to come back and fight. I want to say it was Evan Tanner at the time. But that ended up falling apart after I don't remember the circumstances behind it, but the UFC would actually have to admit then that all the best fighters ain't in the UFC. So I don't believe they do it. Now Bellator would be more than open to it because a couple of years ago they did it with this organization, I believe out of is it Russia or Japan, called Rising FC. Remember when Darren, what's his name? Darren Stewart, I want to say, fought Kyoji Horiguchi for the bantamweight title. They did a crossover event, and it was a good event, man. I mean, they had several fighters from each promotion fight each other, and it was a good event. But the UFC would definitely not do that again.
Yeah, Dana White won't do it, but like Kyle said, he said he gave the disclaimer. He said, I know this probably wouldn't happen, so don't crush my dreams. And let's just say that it happened. I agree with Tone saying $1 million, but I would up the stakes and I would say each one of the organizations put up $1 million. So at least 6 organizations and have it huge, because you're showing that you are truly not the best in an organization, but you are the best in the world. So I think that will be the way to do it, and to make it a big event. Maybe have all the heavyweights and the featherweights on one card, and then do it again with light heavyweights and welterweights on the next one, and to keep doing it that way. But I think that'll be a phenomenal tournament, and I think people will be surprised at the outcomes.
Yeah. What I would really like though, DB, if they did it like March Madness, man, I think that would be super dope. You know what I'm saying? I know it's never gonna happen, but it just sounds nice. And then like winner takes all. The people with the most, whoever got the most champions, they become the top dog. You know what I'm saying? That'd be so dope, man. That'd be super dope. So the other night we didn't get to him because I was sleepy as hell. So I want to get y'all takes on these and on the rest of these fantasy fights. We got 2 more left. I'm gonna put it up here, and we're gonna start it off. We got to start off with Tom Brown, man. You know what I'm saying? Then we'll go DJ. We'll never go DB, then DJ. And Santos, if you want to get in on this, you can get in on this. But right here we go. Right here, bang.
Man, I'm gonna have to go with Demetrius Johnson on this. Yeah, I think that he's just an all-around complete fighter. Like he has a complete striking, complete. He has anything that you have, he can beat you. He can beat you at. Like he's out grappled like submission artists. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like submitted them. Like his striking is amazing. Like his ground game is amazing. I'm going with Demetrius.
Yeah, Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson is arguably the greatest of all time as well. He's one of the 3 or 4 people that you put in the conversation when you talk about the GOATs. He beat everybody. I think in the last fight that he lost to Henry Cejudo before leaving there, I had him winning the fight by split decision. But, he is good everywhere. He's not super powerful with his punches, but his knees and his kicks are strong. He's super fast. He's got good reflexes. He moves his feet all the time. He moves his head. He's got good takedowns. His jiu-jitsu is good. He's dynamic. And TJ Dillashaw is really good. But TJ Dillashaw, he's coming back from being a dope head. We haven't seen TJ Dillashaw without being doped up yet. So, if he comes back and he takes on 5 or 6 good fighters and he demolishes those dudes, then we could probably revisit this conversation in a year and a half from now. But for right now, yeah, I'm taking DJ all day long.
For sure. Go ahead, DJ.
Mighty Mouse Johnson is, like DB said, the most complete MMA fighter in the history of the sport. He has no weaknesses. That's probably one of the only fighters you can say that about. Like, even going to John Jones. John Jones has good striking. He has very good striking. DJ has excellent striking. John Jones has great wrestling. Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson has great wrestling. Like, for the guys that he took out, like, he even beat guys that were on steroids. A few years ago, I think back in like 2014, he beat a Russian cat, Ali Bagutinov, I think it was. He was starching everybody in the 125-pound division. Yeah. And Demetrius Johnson systematically picked him apart throughout 5 rounds. And I think he finished him in the 5th round. No. It was just systematic ass whooping for 5 rounds. I'm talking about knees, elbows, took him down, beat him up, almost choked him out once, almost took his arm off once. So he is the absolute most complete fighter that I've ever seen. I think anybody's ever seen in mixed martial arts. Like I said, everything from his wrestling to his kickboxing to his jiu-jitsu to his Muay Thai. He does everything perfect. Like, if you want to build a complete fighter, if you want to turn anybody on to the sport and say this guy's one of the best, turn it on to Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson. He also has probably the fastest hands in MMA. The punches and combinations that he gets off on people are absolutely exceptional. You watch that first Henry Cejudo fight. He would hit Henry with a 3-piece and a soda. Then before you knew it, he'd have his hands around the back of your neck in that Muay Thai plum, and he was hammering Henry Cejudo with knees inside the clinch. So it's you swing at him, and then all of a sudden you're getting peppered in your liver. So his movement, everything he does, great. I'm sorry, I love Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson. But I'm taking him over TJ Dillashaw. Like DB said, TJ Dillashaw is coming off a 2-year suspension for taking EPO, which, if you don't know anything about EPO, it enhances your endurance. So he was taking stuff. Not only is he in phenomenal shape, but it keeps you from getting tired. And he would take it in training so he could train longer. Whereas guys would train probably 4 times a week or 5 times a week, twice a day. He'd be training 6 times a week, 4 times a day. And able to keep the same pace and not get tired throughout. So that is a banned substance. That is considered a performance-enhancing drug per USADA. And we're going to see what he has when he comes back and faces this young lion in Corey Sandhagen, who is no joke. He just knocked out Frankie Edgar. I believe Aljamain Sterling was the last guy to beat him 2 or 3 fights ago when he hopped on his back and strangled him. But Corey Sandhagen is big for the division. I think he's DB, like 5'10", 5'9", 5'10", for the 135-pound division. That's huge. So we're going to see what TJ Dillashaw has when he comes back and faces that young killer.
All right. Sounds good.
I like Demetrius myself against Dillashaw. I'm not as technically sound about the MMA sport as the rest of you guys, but I have watched off and on over the years. And Mighty Mouse is one of my favorites. I don't see anything that he can't do. I wouldn't want to be the guy to meet him in a dark alley. It would remind me, well, this might be too old for you guys, some of you guys, but the movie Uptown Saturday Night, Little Seymour, I wouldn't want to meet Little Seymour in a dark alley. That'd probably be me and Mighty Mouse, you know what I'm saying? He'd be whooping my tail. But I'm gonna tell you, man, that guy, I was so disappointed in the other organization for not, when I found out that they weren't paying this guy like they should have been paying him. And so I thought it was better for him to move on, and he's looking out for himself. And I appreciate that he's probably getting some satisfaction in his career. I don't know what his money is. That's his business. But I just think they did him wrong for all the money that he was bringing to that organization. But even in his loss, which was the last fight I saw, he still let me know that he was still the man. And I don't see this guy. He's never going to lose as many as he wins. He's just that great, and he's going to always be at the top of the list of fighters in the MMA. And he should go to any type of Hall of Fame that may have or what have you. But that's my take on Dillashaw. I remember hearing something about him doing something and getting suspended, but I wasn't sure what it was exactly. But that explains a lot of stuff that what I've seen of him over the years.
All right, for sure, man.
Yeah, just Mighty Mouse. Dana loved Mighty Mouse. It just him fighting in the 125-pound division in the UFC. He just wasn't a big draw, man, to casual fans because he didn't talk shit. He just went out there and whooped ass. Now, they tried putting on different campaigns. This is the fastest man in MMA. He's got, I think, 12, 13 title defenses. He was about to break, I believe it was Anderson Silva's record for consecutive title defenses. They were trying to market him off that, and he was barely selling, I think, 200,000 pay-per-views, man. So Dana White loved him. He just couldn't sell, man. And I hate that. A lot of fans probably didn't. A lot of new fans to the sport didn't get to see him in the UFC. But he's fighting in ONE FC now. He's fighting some good guys. Like I put in the chat earlier, he's fighting April 7th. What is that? Next Wednesday? I want to say it is next Wednesday. And they're fighting on TNT for whatever, I don't know what station that is for y'all, but he's fighting on TNT. And it'll be a late card because ONE FC is an Asian promotion, so we'll get the fights. Like, I know my time, it'll probably be like 10 or 11 o'clock at night before the card even starts. So, if y'all guys can tune into that. Him and Eddie Alvarez fighting. And the great thing about ONE FC, it's not just MMA. Like, they'll have a Muay Thai fight, they'll have a kickboxing fight, then they'll have a couple MMA fights. And so they're just an all-around combat organization. So check them out if you can.
Yeah, hey DJ, I remember them talking about, and Dana saying that he didn't know how to promote him to the point that where he have a bigger draw and stuff like that. But I was just thinking, man, if some of the undercards were a little bit more exciting and they were a good draw, then I mean it wouldn't be a problem for him to be the main event and help draw in a little bit that he does draw in, because I mean. He was just that great of a fighter, man. I just thought he just needed to have a little bit more shine. Now, true MMA fight fans, they respected him and checked him out, And I understand about the casuals not checking him out as much, but I just think, what if the card was dressed up a little bit more? Would it have made? Did he have cards where they were dressed up with high profile fights underneath him? And he still wasn't only getting 200 or so pay-per-views, or were the cards, most everybody on the undercards a little bit below him, if not even. And therefore, he was only drawing in, the 200 or less.
No, they didn't.
Go ahead, DB. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying they didn't dress the cards up. He would be the main event on when I say mediocre, I just meant in terms of name recognition for fighters. So you might have a lot of good fighters. good fighters, but a lot of newcomers, first fight in the company, guys who are really good but haven't made their way into the top 10 or top 15 yet. So those guys will be on it. And those fights were free fights, and they wouldn't be pay-per-view fights. They would be Fight Pass or Spike or free TV. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, they could have put some more marketing dollars behind DJ as a main event on a card with some bigger names. And also
go ahead.
The climate of the sport has changed also too. So we got a lot of buffoons who are making money now because they're talking. You got clowns like Jorge Masvidal, Ben Askren, Colby Covington, Conor McGregor, TJ Dillashaw even.
I thought Conor probably changed that forever. I thought he was the one that started the highest pitch of talking, out of all of them, as far as I remember. But I'm not as into it as you guys are. But yeah, it has changed, like you said. I noticed that.
Yeah. The difference with Conor is he actually meant what he was saying. Like a lot of these guys now are just talking just to talk, just to get some attention. Conor actually meant every word he was saying. He was like, your chin, your chin is soft. I've seen you get dropped with jabs. I'm gonna dust you off inside of 2 rounds. Like he meant every word. He believed everything he was saying, and that's how he was able to get inside of guys' heads and then go out there and perform the way he did. Now, as far as DJ, they did. This is where me and DD differ. They did try to put him on as the co-main event for some John Jones cards. They tried to put him on the co-main event for an Anderson Silva card once. And they even put him on free. A lot of his title fights were on free TV to try to expose him to more fans. But whenever they tried to headline his card for pay-per-view, they would put some probably more well-known fighters as his co-main event, but the card up under that was guys who he was supposed to be fighting next. You get what I'm saying? Like he'd probably be fighting the number 3 guy, and the number 2 and the number 4 guy would be fighting 2 fights before the co-main event. And under that, they'll try to put some more flyweights up. They'll probably put the top 10 125ers all on the same card, trying to build up their card. Hey, look at this division. We're trying to, here's the champion. He's the standard. Now look at all the guys behind him. This is how good DJ is because this is the top 10 guys behind him, but nobody knew those guys. You have John Moraga. You have Luis Smoker. You have, what's the other guy's name, man? Other guy who he tapped out. At the time, it was Kyoji Horiguchi. You have all these guys. Sergio Pettis when he was in UFC. You have all these 125ers on the same card, and it's just nobody really cared about that division, man. And I hated that division.
But see, I think that's where they made a mistake at. Because see, a casual fight fan, I'm gonna consider myself a casual because I don't know enough about it like I do boxing.
Me too.
A casual fight fan is going to be a person who's okay with watching a mixed variety of divisions on one card, because what they want to see are exciting fights. Now, a person who's a true MMA fight fan, like I consider myself a true boxing fan because I don't care who's fighting. But years and years ago, I didn't care about the lighter weight division guys. Now I pay a little bit more attention to them now. I don't pay as much attention as I should, but I pay more attention to them now, and I know a little bit more about them, and I'm a little bit more versed about them now than what I used to be. But a person who's true to it overall, it's not gonna bother a guy like yourself, DJ, to see those same divisions. The next line of guys, the next group of guys is in line for the championship to fight. But a guy like myself, we want to see action-packed fights, and we don't care about the division. We want to see it. We're cool with a mix of variety, because honestly, the understanding I have of MMA, I always thought they had a mix of variety of divisions on the cards. From what because there's so many fights. But you guys are educating me. I understand what you're saying, and I know for a fact that if you do that type of thing, you are going to stagnate the possibility of revenues coming in for a fight card like that. But if you mix it with different divisions, action packed, because I remember times I've seen Anderson Silva on as a co-main or event, and then the main event may be some heavyweights or something. I mean, there's always some exciting fights, and he may steal the show, but at the same time, it wasn't a boring card overall. Is what I'm getting at. And so when you get cards that's exciting like that, you're gonna bring money. People are gonna pay to come see them, and they're gonna get the pay-per-view and all that kind of stuff. I think they should have thought a little bit more out of the box when it came to Mighty Mouse, because he was just so great. I just felt like they didn't do enough, but I didn't feel qualified to be speaking on it as well, because I wasn't a true MMA in-depth fight fan. So, but I just thought, man, they could have done better about the guy, But I'm glad he's. I hope he's happy. I'll put it that way.
I think it's just because he just cleaned. I think it's just because he cleaned out he cleaned out the flyweight division.
He did wipe them out.
He wiped everybody out.
Yeah, I mean, if you line somebody up with 9 times out of 10, he was winning. I mean, I only saw him lose one fight the whole time I've been watching him. I watched him for a few years, and that was that last fight I saw him. I hadn't seen him fight since then. But at the same time, shoot, he's a man. I love that guy, man.
Yeah, I think Tone hit the nail on the head. He said that he fought all of these guys, and he got rid of basically all of the guys in his division before he had the proper amount of eyes on him to see how great he was. I'm gonna read. Yeah, I'm gonna go through a couple of these things in the chat too. So let's see. Matrix R said, "Is Kayla Harrison something special? She seemed big for them girls." Kayla Harrison is a fucking monster. Matrix R, she is a beast, and she's fighting at 165 pounds, and that's where Clarissa Shields is at. You know what I mean? Wow.
Oh shoot, my bad.
Yeah. This girl is a 2-time judo Olympic gold medalist. She won the Worlds and Pan Ams, and she's a fucking monster. She's basically got the same sort of credentials that Ronda Rousey had, but she's a stronger, she's not just a judoka. She's got good wrestling, and she's a muscular chick, so she hits really fucking hard. So she's a beast, man. She's top 5, women's martial artists. Yeah, right now, and I would say, well, she's definitely in the top 10. There's an argument for her to be in the top 5. Y'all got anything on Kayla Harrison before Kyle moves to the next slide?
She a beast.
Period. He said, period.
She may be a beast, but she ain't no Gabby Garcia. Google Gabby Garcia whenever y'all get a chance. But but as far as this fight that Kyle's got on the screen here, I have no clue who would win that fight. I know it's a cop out. I know I brought this fight up. I have no clue who would win that fight. I really don't. They're mirror images of each other, man. I have no clue who will win that fight.
I got Kamaru Usman winning that fight. George St. Pierre has not had a person who was his height with his same sort of girth and body type, a person who was stronger than him. And in a situation like this, neither one of them are great boxers, but they both they can both hit hard. Usman may be a bit heavier handed than Usman. Usman may be a bit more heavy handed than GSP, but GSP may be a little faster than Usman. So I think it'll end up coming down to, if they stood up and they were boxing, then it would probably look like a Colby Covington versus Kamaru Usman fight if they stayed standing. But if they hit the ground, GSP has one of the highest takedown efficiency rates, but Kamaru Usman has not been taken down in his career. They have him down for 0.0
0.002 seconds. So somebody probably tried to take him down and his hand hit the ground for a second before he lifted it up, but yeah, I got Kamaru Usman winning that fight. Tone?
I got GSP. I think GSP just overall he's a complete fighter, man. I think he's just an overall complete fighter. I think that he will take Kamaru Usman to the ground. I think that his striking, like standing up on the feet, I think he's a way better striker than Usman. I think Usman will. He's gonna definitely give GSP problems, but I think that GSP gets the victory.
It's my turn.
Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah, man. I'm for my brother Usman, but man, GSP was a beast, man. He was the epitome of a fighter, man, like Demetrius Johnson, man. I mean, those two guys there in their weight divisions, man, they just awesome, man. And GSP, I used to see something almost new from him every time I watched him fight, man. I think Usman, in order to win that fight, because I think his ground game is less than what GSP's ground game is. I think Usman would have to have the ability to catch GSP and knock him out as a striker. If he doesn't, he loses that fight, in my opinion. I just there wasn't many flaws in GSP's game, and I know GSP and was it Nate Diaz or was it Nick? I think it was one of the Diaz brothers.
Nick.
It was Nick. That's what I thought. They used to go at it, man. And Nick used to nick GSP up, but GSP, his ground game was so strong. And then he had good strength in his body, man. I mean, he put your butt in a pretzel and it might be over, Nick couldn't do anything with him on the ground. His striking was okay, but even GSP had a pretty decent striking game himself, but he didn't bank all his money on the striking game. But he was just a well-rounded fighter from what I remember, and I hate to go against my brother. I mean, I would root for my brother, but I'll have to put my money on GSP.
Yeah. So who just said that?
Sancho.
No, Kashawn Green. He just said, do y'all remember when Johnny Hendricks put them paws on GSP? I got Usman. Yeah. Hey, tell them, KG. They're not listening.
Johnny Hendricks was also on steroids.
That's okay. So was George. You know what I mean? When
I never seen GSP knocked out, so that's probably a fight I didn't see.
You didn't. Well, yeah, Matt Serra put them things on him and knocked his ass out too. Had him doing what they call it in ballet.
I did see that. I forgot about that.
That's right. That's right. Max Serra did knock his ass's face, didn't he? That's right. How could I forget about that?
Did him and Hughes? Did they have some battles too?
Yeah, they fought 2 times. They won and won. But Matt Hughes submitted his ass with an armbar, a quick armbar in the first round. So
but that was something he had never seen before when he fought him.
Yeah. So I mean, listen, if we look at the people that Kamaru Usman's fighting versus the caliber of people that he's fighting, and I know because of name recognition, these guys fought for a longer time. You might look at the list and go, but that's BJ Penn, but that's Johnny Hendricks, but that's Nick Diaz. Well, give Gilbert Burns another 7 to 10 years fighting. Give Kobe Covington another 7 to 10 years fighting. Give Leon Edwards another 7 to 10 years fighting. And so on and so on. Like, you can do the same thing. I think George St. Pierre had a lot more Jorge Masvidals on his resume than Kamaru Usman. But everybody's entitled to their opinion. And I got Usman actually stopping GSP. All right, what we got next?
DB, I'll give you this, man. You ride hard for the African brothers, man. I'll give you that.
Should there be any other way?
Who you got, DJ?
I'm not picking.
That means he got GSP. He got GSP then. That's what that means.
No,
that
believe
means
in
he
it.
wants to pick. That means he wants to be GSP, but he doesn't want to go against the quote unquote legend.
Well,
no, I believe they're twins. I believe everything they do cancels out each other. If anything, it'd be a draw.
All right,
one
let's
thing
see.
we
What
all
else?
agree upon, it'd be a hell of a fight.
Yeah. Jesus, what's up? Jesus Hernandez in the building. What's up, Jesus? And Birdman slid in a little while ago too. Salute to y'all, man. My brother Mir done slid in too, representing the North Side, Oakland. Let's see, Sean. Let's see. Birdman said Hendrix was on the juice. Jesus said picogram. Yeah. Let's see. I remember that, but GSP got him back. Yeah, he did. Chef Dre Bug said George trash to me. Yeah, people, listen. A part of the reason I ain't gonna go on a tangent, but I will say this: Kamaru Usman beat Jorge Masvidal. He's a better all-around fighter. He controlled him and he manhandled him. Some people might call it a domination. I call it a domination because George Masvidal wasn't able to get off anything. He threw hard and heavy punches. He couldn't do anything. George Masvidal, which was said by Dustin Poirier, Kobe Covington, Dean Thomas, and Mike Brown, who are his coaches and his teammates. They all said that he flew in some top wrestlers from around the world, and he has 6 top wrestlers from around the world that he was wrestling with for 6 to 8 months preparing for this Kamaru Usman fight. So when casuals, less than casuals, start saying that, oh, it was a 6-day notice, no, he signed the contract 6 days before, but he was preparing for that fight for quite some time. But you also got to realize this: when we say that, we also have to give credit to Kamaru Usman by saying, well, shit, his opponent, he didn't have that opponent but for 6 days as well. So, listen, man, I don't fall for the you can't pull the wool over somebody else's eyes. They're not gonna pull that small time stuff over on me, like Dr. Khalid Muhammad say. Yeah, y'all can go somewhere else with that. But I forgot my point, but yeah, Kamaru Usman is on his way to being the GOAT. There we go.
Now, I'll say this. Kamaru Usman did win the fight. I didn't see a domination. It was really a boring fight. A lot of toe stomps, a lot of just holding him on the ground, not really doing a whole lot of damage. I'm sorry, guys, if it's a lot of background noise. But I didn't really see a dominating performance. Now, I'm with you with this on DB. I'm with you with this, DB. George was preparing for that fight way more than 6 days out. Everybody knows when you're the champion, everybody's preparing for the champion. Like I've said numerous times. So I don't buy the, I just got the fight on 6 days notice, da-da-da-da. No, that just means you had 6 days to cut weight. And the UFC, you know how they do a lot of times, they'll have a backup fighter. They'll tell the number 3 guy, come in, make weight just in case something happens. Remember they did that with Ally Quinta when Tony Ferguson fell out of one of those Khabib fights. Before the last Dustin, I think it was before the last. That was Justin Gaethje.
That was Max Holloway and Khabib.
Max Holloway and Khabib. Yeah, Max Holloway came in and couldn't make weight because his body failed him. Or the commission shut him down from making weight. I'm talking about the last Khabib fight when he fought Justin Gaethje. Remember they had Michael Chandler come in and make weight just in case anything happened. So a lot of times the UFC will put these guys on notice 10 days out. Like, hey, just in case anything happens, we're gonna fly you out. We'd like for you to make weight. Bring your coaches just in case anything happens to one of the main event guys. So the whole 6 days notice thing, yeah, I threw that out the window as well. But I thought it was a lackluster performance from both guys. I really didn't see no need for them to run this fight back. The fight that I really want them to run back is Covington and Usman. That was a lot closer fight with Usman stopping him in the 5th round because I had that fight personally 2-2 going into the last round. and that's with Usman breaking Kobe's face.
Yeah, you brought me back to my point. Yeah, I remember what it was now. So this is what it was. First thing is Jorge Masvidal got this fight. He was flying in. Jorge Masvidal, if he wasn't going to make weight, if he wasn't prepared for the fight, he wouldn't have stopped in Italy for pizza and pasta. That's one. Number two is, how do you define domination? Not in a fight. When you say domination, you can Google it or you can look it up, or you already have a definition that's there. Think of domination in your head. Everybody in the chat, go ahead, Dre Boog, Mir, Tone. Think of domination in your head. Birdman, what's domination? Okay, and then when you think about that, and then you think about the fight, go back and look at the fight. He controlled him. He manhandled him. George didn't take him down. George couldn't get off his strikes. George is supposed to be a dynamic striker. He wasn't able to do any of that. He stifled Kamaru Usman. You turning into a transformer over there? More than meets the eye. But he stifled him, and Optimus Prime, is that you? Yes, but he stifled him and didn't allow him to do anything. So in that sense, he dominated him. Now that's a different type of domination, right? Somebody can be on the ground for a while. Does Damian Maia dominate his opponents? He does, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a fact, right? Does Francis Ngannou dominate his opponents? Yes, right? And the fights only last 18 seconds, 29 seconds a round. So there's different ways that you can dominate an opponent. And since George wasn't able to get off, no matter if it was considered to be a lackluster performance or uneventful, at the end of the day, he dominated George and prevented him from doing everything that he planned on doing. He was supposed to go out and give him that old corny ass saying that we used to say in junior high school with 3-piece and a soda, and that ain't even how the saying goes. It's a 2-piece and a biscuit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But they always trying to steal our shit. They always trying to steal our shit, and they don't know how to say it right.
Yeah, where the soda thing come from? I've been hearing y'all. I thought it was an MMA thing when I first heard it.
Nerds heard George Masvidal.
That's completely some Jorge Masvidal made up. I thought it was just some Miami shit.
Nah, hell no. We used to say that shit right here. That's some old street talk. That's some old gangbang shit.
No, I'm talking about the soda part. I remember 2-piece and a biscuit. I had never heard it with a soda until the other night.
You know how cultural appropriation goes. People try to follow they try to bite the style.
Yeah.
No, they try to bite your style, but you can't bite shit when you're missing 4 teeth. You know what I'm saying? The shit not gonna the imprint, the bite print ain't gonna come out the right way. You understand? So he was trying to say it and he was trying to sound cool, and he ended up sounding like a goober. But anyway, so let me finish this point. George Masvidal was not able to do anything against Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman won the fight. He had even I think 2 rounds that they considered 10-8, maybe 1, but probably 2. But it was an easy victory. But let's not forget, people always have these narratives when it comes to these black fighters. It's not just in boxing, it happens in MMA. How many people have you heard talking about Kamaru Usman fighting with a broken nose in that fight?
Oh, I didn't know
that.
There
you go. So, you can Google
it. Wait. See, I didn't even know that. His nose was broken in that fight?
His nose was broken before he came into the fight.
You can look it up right now. I had no clue.
Okay. So there you go. That means that they've created a narrative, they fed us the narrative, and then we end up running with them. When we know that we can't listen to the shit that they say, we can't listen to them. I mean, it's just like in boxing. Gennady Golovkin, he's the greatest. He's knocking people out. Nobody's ever had this power, right? I mean, we see what they do with Canelo, right? We see what they did with Vasyl Lomachenko. His angles, his movement, his footwork. They'll feed us these narratives, and people can fall into them and feed into them if you want to. But if you watch these sports and you pay attention to the interviews and the press conferences and the weigh-ins, as we do as casual fans, then we can see this shit. But anyway, Kamaru Usman was not given the proper credit and respect for winning the fight like everybody else did. So he said, you know what? Since you guys didn't give me my full credit and respect, now I'll go in there and I'll show you I can beat this dude in a different way. And, now you're going to have to respect me. So people are going to learn their lessons. When this guy go in there and he does what, George St. Pierre's supposed to be considered the GOAT, right? He go in there and he take guys down and he lay and pray, and he wait for the referee to say, get active. And he go body, head, and he goes back to laying on you like a wet blanket and didn't move. So it was okay when George St. Pierre did
Randy
that.
Couture.
Yeah, but Randy would box
Couture.
him stood up. But
Randy
my
was a
point
beast.
is, George St. Pierre did this for a decade, and they considered him the GOAT. Kamaru Usman does it in one fight, and all of a sudden he's the worst fighter in the UFC. He was such a boring fighter. He's scared, and they try to create this narrative that black guys are cowards and they run like they did with Floyd. And you guys know how this shit goes. But anyway,
Look, I consider myself a casual at this point of the MMA, but what I've seen of these guys here of late, especially Usman, I don't know enough about it, but from what my eye test is, I don't see anybody beating him anytime soon in his division. And I'm gonna tell you something
Agreed.
else. I saw
hold on. Let me finish this point.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me finish. Let me finish this point because my brain is. I'm young, but my brain is old, and I'll
got
forget.
you. Go ahead.
But he's back in there so that he can get his credit and his respect. And my brother Redcliffe just said it in there. He said Usman just wants an easy payday. It's not that. He wants his respect. But if he can get this respect and it comes with the payday, because all of these, and again, I don't even like to say casual because it sounds so corny when I'm talking about somebody else, but a person who's not a hardcore fan and doesn't pay attention to the sport, who's not viewing all of the fights and all of the things that happen around the fight, they've created this. So since you guys want to support this guy and make this the big fight, then I'm going to make it part 2 because I'm going to get paid and I'm going to get my respect. Anyway, that's my last piece. Go ahead, Santo. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I was just saying that when I saw him fight Masvidal, I thought it was very one-sided. I didn't see Masvidal do jack but get beat, and in every aspect of the fight. And Usman, most of the fights I've seen him in has been exciting. I mean, it's been some kind of exciting finish or something, or he's just dominated the fights. I've never seen him in trouble, and I'm not saying he hasn't been. I'm just saying the fights that I've seen. I think very highly of him. I just when I said GSP over him, it was more or less I didn't think about the fights that GSP had lost, but I thought about the longevity over the career that I've known of GSP to have competed versus I just started hearing about Usman, maybe 3-4 years ago. Now, he's a champion. And one thing I wanted to make a comment about, I love the fact that we got these 3 African kings and they all support one another. Just doing a great job in the MMA. I love it. And I mean, there's more to come. So that's really got me excited more. Matter of fact, my juices for the MMA are pumping more like it used to be when I was watching Strikeforce and all that stuff back in the day. More now because of those 3 guys. Because I like seeing the competition not just be a certain group of people. 1 minute it might be some Middle Eastern guys, next minute it might be some guys out of South America, and sometimes it might be some American, white guys or whatever. But I love the fact that, we got our guys in there shining. It's only 3 different divisions that I see that, but that's enough for me for right now to let them know that, hey, we can fight too. And then we got a plethora of brothers coming up in different organizations as well as the big one that's competing well. So it's before you know it, this will be our sport too. That's the way I'm looking at it.
For sure.
Shit, listen, if you say it's gonna be our sport, it's our sport. We got the heavyweight champion. Listen, we all know that John Jones can go back to 205 if he wants to and take that belt away from this dude. Izzy was just two rounds away from taking that belt. Izzy runs the middleweight division, right? At the welterweight division, Kamaru Usman runs that division. At 55, it's a toss-up because it's just a whole bunch of dudes in there. At 45, put it this way, there's a Super Sadiq. Youssef is getting ready to get down, and you'll see this dude too. He's also from Nigeria At 35, man, we got dudes down there. Aljamain is the king of that right now. 25. Listen, man, we running the sport already. We already got it. You know what I'm saying? We hold the majority of the titles. And if you look in the top 10, say for the heavyweights, for example, right? You got Francis Ngannou. Behind Francis Ngannou, you got Derek Lewis. Behind Derek Lewis, you have Curtis Blades. Behind Curtis Blades, you have Cyril Gane. Behind Cyril Gane, you got Jair Rosenstruik. I mean, we are running this shit already, straight up and down.
I know. These days, these last few years have been the most I've seen of representation from the black culture worldwide. That is black culture. When I say black, I mean anybody black. You know, I don't care what country they're from. That's the most representation I've seen, and since I've ever watched MMA many years ago, or Pride, or what was the other organization, the kickboxing organization? They used to have the Grand Prix and all that. K1, that's it. And man, I love it, man, because well, you know, I used to see brothers in Pride and K1 and stuff like that. But at the same time, this cage fighting, man, the script has flipped, man. I mean, it's the color is greater than what it was. It's not bland like it used to be. Now it's got color in it, and I love that. And that's just the biasness in me, I guess.
So, all right, man, we out of here, man. We'll do these final words. Tone Brown, then we'll go Centos, then we'll go DJ, and then we'll go DB.
Oh yeah, man. Hey, I think they should do a UFC Africa card, man. They should throw all those guys on the card, man. It'd be an amazing event, man. Yeah.
Preach, Tone, preach.
Yeah.
Preach.
Yeah, and you would be inspiring a whole new crop of talent in Africa. You know, like I see, like I watch like the YouTube videos, like the African guy, like the guys in Africa, like they boxing and stuff. Like they got a whole crop of talent out there, and so now you putting them in mixed martial arts. The sky's the limit.
For sure. So Centos.
Yeah, man. Just to add to what TV just said, I like to see a lot of. I like to see a little bit, a lot more action made available for the eyes to see throughout our community of people for this sport, which is good now. But you know, the more we get into it, the more the younger crew would take to it, and they'll develop themselves over the years, and we'll have even more people involved with it as far as competitors. But I'm very pleased with what's going on in MMA. I'm going to do my best to try to watch it more consistently, and learn a little bit more knowledge about it. Because I just like boxing. When I'm watching an MMA fight, when I'm watching a guy I like to see fight, I'm moving and punching and almost kicking and not even realizing I'm doing the stuff. You know what I'm saying? And that lets me know that it's really pumping my juices. You know, and I love watching it. I don't have the ability every time to stay awake and watch it for its entirety, and that's what I'm trying to get back into because of my schedule. But anyway, I love it, and I want to be a little bit more versed on it in the future when I'm sharing conversation with you guys out here. But nevertheless, I'm not going to stop watching. I'm going to watch it every chance I get. And matter of fact, since you guys are trying to kick me off the air tonight, I'm going to have to find some more MMA online somewhere and check it out. God, I'm fired up about it right now. And
man, you can go to my channel and just watch videos. It's just some highlights of some of the fights. If you go to some of the older videos, and you'll see some of the breakdowns of the fights.
Okay, I'll do that. And I want to thank. Go ahead.
It was on. No, it was on Bellator MMA. It was on their YouTube channel. Like it was on the prelims and the main card.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Okay, I'll check that out. See, I got the Showtime app. I've been wanting to catch the whole entirety of the fight as a replay. You know how they replay boxing and replay some MMA. That's what I was hoping to catch. But I'm gonna keep myself busy out here. You can believe that. But I want to thank Cal for making this platform available to us, and I want to thank DB for his expertise and his love for the MMA, and DJ his expertise and love for the MMA sport. And I want to thank TV for jumping on with us, man. And I want to thank all you guys for allowing me to come in with my lack of knowledge. And I want to thank the chat for hanging out with us. And just want to thank all you guys, man, because Lord knows I like the company, because I'm out here in my front room, which is what I call my cab, the cab of my truck, driving and doing what I do. But I plan to educate myself more and converse with you guys more. And I thank all of you. And y'all have a great weekend.
Man, appreciate that, Centos. DJ.
Yes, indeed.
Appreciate. Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate that, man.
Go ahead, DJ.
Oh man, how do I follow that? Once again, shout out to my guy Kyle in the boxing section for having me on. I joined late, but a little tardy for the party, but we got that work in regardless. Shout out to my guy Cento, my guy Tone Brown in the building, of course my MMA brother DB in the building. I love this fight thing, man. I just like to see guys get beat up and choked out. Whether it's boxing, Muay Thai, or traditional martial arts. I just like to see guys fight, man, or girls fight. And mark my words, by this time next year, we will have a UFC Africa card. They are trying to secure land in Africa now. As DD probably knows, they're trying to secure land in Africa now to build some UFC gyms out there because they see there's money there. I think UFC and Dana see that there's money there. Like if they can go to China and build one when the UFC and China weren't on good terms at one point, if they can build if they can build a gym over there, they can get one built in Africa. As far as the 3 African kings, I love it. I think it's great for the sport. I actually wanted Daniel Cormier to retire as the champion because I think he's only the second. He was I believe the second black heavyweight champion in the UFC, and now Francis is the third, I believe. If I'm wrong, correct me,
Correct.
But I like how we're taking over the sport, man. We just need to get a lightweight champion. We've had a champion in every other weight class except for lightweight and featherweight. And if we can get those two, we would completely monopolize the sport. I need to see some more brothers from my land, as I should say, from Senegal. That's where my ancestors are from. So I need to see some brothers from there. If you've never seen Senegalese wrestling, please look it up. But the more the UFC invests in Africa, I believe they will take over the sport. Africa will be what Brazil was to the mixed martial arts when it first started. I appreciate you having me on, man. I love having these conversations with good people. And I like the fact that myself and DB have been able to turn so many people on to this wonderful sport called MMA. I actually flipped to it after boxing went dormant. When the Klitschko's took over boxing, I started watching MMA because nobody cared about boxing at that point. I mean, you still had guys like Roy Jones and Bernard Hopkins and Felix Trinidad and Marco Antonio Barrera still around at that time. But once Lennox Lewis retired and Evander Holyfield got old, and, as the heavyweight division goes in boxing, so does the rest of boxing. So once the Klitschko's took over boxing, I really didn't care about it anymore. I just recently fell back in love with it about 4 years ago. But yeah, man, I just love having these conversations with y'all. And whenever I can come on, man, I'll come on. Salute, fellas.
Sure, man. It's all love, man.
Hey, Cal. Cal.
Yep.
Hey, real quick, I just wanted to add this. I think Tone Brown owes us a story real quick before we close out completely tonight, man.
What you got, Tom? What you got?
Oh man, I ain't got the story right now, man.
Go ahead, DB.
All right, all right, all right. First and foremost, man, salute to the family, man, that's on the panel right here, the brother Centos, my MMA brother DJ, Tone, and the host with the most, my brother Kyle, holding it down on the north side of Cali for us, man. Listen, I'm so excited about this card, but, before we get to finish up on this card, man, UFC Africa, it's going to come. I told y'all last year and several months ago, and we keep speaking it. And Deontay Wilder says, speak it, believe it, receive it. Man, it's going to come into existence. We're going to get it. And it's going to be cracking, man. And there's a whole lot more African fighters, man. There's probably about 23 or 24. Now, some guys are half African, half Jamaican, half American, half African. But I guarantee you, they put a card in Africa, UFC Africa card. All the guys are going to represent their roots, man, and they'll be on that card. So let's keep pumping that up whenever we hear something about it. Keep it moving. So just for the people that were not here yesterday, man, we did cover some things just so you guys will know, so you can go back and listen to that show. But we talked about Kevin Holland stepping in last minute to face Marvin Vettori. We talked about the Anderson Silva versus Julio Cesar Chavez card, Miesha Tate coming back and facing Marion Renault. We talked about the number 3 welterweight Leon Edwards facing Nate Diaz, and that card was just announced, and that'll be the co-main event. It'll be a 5-rounder. Charles Oliveira versus Michael Chandler for the vacant 155 title. We talked about the Reebok deal, and I went over some of the financials with that. And we also talked about John Jones versus Francis Ngannou, and also John Jones's public negotiations with Dana White for his upcoming bout. And then today, man, we covered the Bellator 255, and I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, but Patricio Pitbull versus Emmanuel Sanchez in a rematch, and the winner faces the young lion AJ McKee, fresh out of Los Angeles. The co-main event was Neiman Gracie, and that's Carla Gracie's son, I believe, and he went against the ass-kicking machine, Jason Jackson, and that was a good fight. Usman Nurmagomedov, which is not Kamaru Usman, but Khabib's cousin, Usman Nurmagomedov, faced off against the veteran Mike Hamill. We had Tyrell Biggs as a heavyweight going against Jack May. Jack May is from down here, but fuck him. And the ladies got busy, man. Kana Watanabe against Alejandra Lara. And if you want to see some ladies getting down, man, that's a really good scrap to pay attention to. Man, what else can I say, man? Y'all kept it live in the chat, man. I appreciate everybody for coming in. I know it was earlier than we usually get down, but we got it squared away. And I want to start off, man, but I always got to give love to the home team, man, Los Angeles and California. So salute to our departed brother, you know what I'm saying, who left us and went to Chicago, Tone Brown, and the brother Kyle, the host with the most, box fans, the martial arts scholar, my brother Tank, Yova, Mir City, SF City Slicker holding it down, Jason, a.k.a. my brother JB, Reggie Owens, man, salute to y'all. And now to the rest of the family, Jesus Hernandez, J.A. Dixon, Matrix R, Birdman, Cameron Markle, man, appreciate y'all. Let's see who else we got in here, man. My brother, Mr. Tennessee himself, Hustler, Slim in the building with us. Come on, who else?
He from Vallejo.
Who's from Vallejo?
Cam, yeah, he from Valley Joe.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Shout out to Cam. Right on. Let's see. So we're going to call him Cali Cam now. And there it is. It's in the books. Brotherhood Boxing Talk. Salute to you, man. Has some great questions and some good input in terms of the chat today. Same as Red Cliff, man. And sometimes we might call you Blue Cliff, but it's all good. Kene, salute to you, man, as well. We want to make sure we don't miss nobody. Chef Dre Boog, of course. And I think we got everybody that's in the chat, at least that's been in here in a while. Oh, yeah, and Kashawn Green. Salute to Kashawn. Where Kashawn from? He from Cali, too?
I'm not even sure.
Okay. Yeah, man, but we had another good show, good time.
if Peoples Hernandez was here, I'm pretty sure he had dropped 5 mics on this, man. But appreciate Kyle for creating the platform and giving us a chance to talk about MMA. And of course, we always inject a little bit of boxing in there because we love it so much. But we back at it again, man. Y'all can catch me in the barber shop Sunday through Thursday. And other than that, man, I always put my channel in the chat if y'all want to check out some MMA videos and highlights. And you want to go back a year or so and to hear some of the breakdowns to see if what I said came true. And yeah, that's it, man. But appreciate y'all. Peace and love. Kyle, what else you got for us?
Man, you know, another one like the other one, same soup reheated. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate the brothers coming through here, man, and showing love and rocking with me, man, and coming through here and really showing some love, man. You know, in the words of the great philosopher Lil E, man, we got to ball, breathe air, and live life. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's always a treat when players meet, man. Shout out to everybody that came through, man. Listen, we're going to keep growing. We're going to keep coming with the great content, man. Thank you, DB and DJ, man, for y'all input on MMA, man. This MMA for Dummies is probably most of the time it's the best show of the week, man. I love when y'all boys come on, man, and y'all drop some knowledge on us, man. We're constantly evolving. We're constantly getting better. I think I'm going to go live tomorrow. I'm not sure. But Sundays, we getting down, man. Super Sundays. So make sure you hit that bell icon, subscribe, and hit that like button, man, on your way out. Hasta mañana.
Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. Hold on. Tank has a new channel too. So when y'all see the Martial Arts Scholar, that's Tank's new channel. He's the Sweet Science Examiner when it comes to boxing, Sweet Science, of course, and then the Martial Arts Scholar when it comes to MMA and other martial arts stuff. So, Tank, if you're still in here, man, drop your link, man, so everybody can go on and sub over to that right there. And other than that, play the song, Kyle.
Let me say one thing, Cal, before you hit it. I just want to acknowledge the fact that if you guys realize what has happened here and what happens on every MMA night you have, I have never heard anyone argue with one another. And that's because the format for MMA is set up the way it should be at this point. And we don't bicker back and forth about, you know, who's getting the biggest purses. This is the way boxing should be, and this is what we need to be working for. But I just wanted to point that out, man. Play the song, Cal.
Yeah.
All right, man. We're gonna play the outro.
At the roost, he let the
Terrence Keith Top Killer.
At the roost, he let the beats build, bitch. And we never switch. Even if I'm rich, I'll be broke like I'm Mitch. Niggas talking down, but that's headed in the wrong direction. But I knock that shit out like the boxing section. Cause they can't touch what they can't see. All I gotta do is be the same me. All I gotta do is keep it cheap. Always be the same me. While I'm solid, boy, they can't change me. No.
All right, y'all, man. We'll see y'all tomorrow, man.
Peace and love.
All right, my brother.